Hey, Jonathan here, coming from the unceded lands of the Yagara and Turrbal people. Welcome to this ep of Inner Vivid. It's theme 1, which I'm calling I'm a Spiritual Person, and now it's question 1. We're right in the beginning. Did you watch the intro vid to the whole shebang before this? That gives you some info on the setup of all this stuff. You know, how it all fits together. That could help, but feel free to just go wherever you want. Okay, some people use the word spirituality, but what does that even mean? Is that like seances or crystals? Is it a self-help thing out to make money? Is it about core human experience, what it is to be human? Is it about awe and wonder, connection and gratefulness? So many questions, and we need answers stat. So, we'll explore the concept of spirituality in a way that's actually about your life, my life, and looking to make sense of the world in authentic ways. Yeah, there's another word, authentic. That's about what seems real and deep, not fake or pretending to be something it isn't. All right, it's episode 1 and I'm already getting ahead of myself. Here comes this episode's question. Dive in, get amongst it. Maybe I'll be back at the end of things to, round stuff up. Let's see how it goes. Okay, yeah.
Most cultures have a sense that what we can see and detect is not all that there is, that human beings have a spiritual side. What's all that about?
I think spirituality is just learning to have our eyes and ears open more to what our heart's doing.
I actually think it's part of the human experience. We feel things that are not connected with our physical selves or with the physicality of what's around us. It's something deeper. Times when we are in a beautiful landscape, or we're moved by art or music, when we fall in love, when we see something that just makes us laugh, those are things that are more than just our physical selves. And we notice, we go, oh, what's happening inside me? And I suspect that humans want to feel that and they want to know more about what that is. And that's what I call spirituality.
I think spirituality is that deep sense that we're part of something wonderful and mysterious that's much bigger than ourselves. And we're always kind of searching for what that might mean for us in our own lives.
Oh, look, I think that's about our desire to make meaning out of what we see around us, and that sense that what we see in our day-to-day lives, in the world we live in, can't be all there is. There has to be something more than just what I can see and touch and feel here and now.
It is a belief in that something else. There's something that I can't quite touch, I can't quite see, but I definitely feel it. I know there's something else there.
I always think it's an awareness that what we can see and perceive with our 5 senses is not necessarily everything that there is, that there may be something else.
A feeling of presence. That's not some weird ghosty thing, like, ooh. It's a feeling of knowing that I'm not on my own. I'm part of a bigger picture. I'm not just a collection of atoms that have randomly come together and created a human being. That there is something there that has wanted me to be there.
Yeah, I think that there is a thing of spirituality. I think we are certainly physical, but we are emotional, and I wonder whether spirituality sits somewhere in between the physical and the emotional. It's that intangible thing that we know that there's something deeper within us and within others, and there's something deeper within the world and how we were created. So trying to work all that out, I think that is probably what we call spirituality.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of talk here about our senses and feeling that there's more. But our 5 senses are all we have to determine the universe around us, right? Are we losing our minds? Stephen, help us out here.
I think there's lots of things in the world that we can't see, and even science, so much of science is about looking at things that we can't see but we can detect in other ways. And I think that the word we give to spirituality is about something that we experience, something we feel, and we're trying to give words to those experiences.
I mean, in science we're finding out new things all the time, so we're aware that we don't know everything, but there's always that sort of inkling you get that there's something very close to the surface but maybe just out of reach, just slightly fractionally, the sort of thing you sometimes catch in a glimpse out of the corner of your eye, that you're aware there's something different there, something extra.
But I would talk about otherness in the sense that there's more to human existence than just the tangible, and there's that endless sort of tug to discover what that is, and I think everyone has a spiritual side to them.
One of the things that I love is quantum physics. It's so good. So every single time scientists who are working with quantum physics find something else out, it just goes to tell us how much more interconnected we are. Everything we do is interconnected, and I just love that. And so then I keep searching and I keep opening myself up, and for me, that's where I find God.
If spirituality is a bit of a daunting word, then God is maybe even more so. Or maybe not. We're all different people. Okay, not every spirituality features a God-type being. We might talk about God eventually, but there's heaps to explore first. We're starting with us as human beings.
Human beings are sort of tuned in to something lacking in existence and life, something that's not quite there, something that's unknown. And I would say that spirituality is a way of engaging or creatively relating to that unknown dimension, which you could call void or a kind of lack. So for me, spirituality is about kind of creatively forging meaning out of the incompleteness of existence.
I think it's our innate yearning and desire to be more than who we are and to connect more deeply with the world around us.
When you think about what humans build together, do together, create together, how we care for one another, in spite of the ways in which the world around us breaks apart, it makes for me this wonder of what actually is under that. You know, what is it that actually draws us into what we think of as being good? You know, and so where is this good from? Where is this love from? Where are these things that keep us moving forward and caring for each other in a world that tends to break apart?
So I think it's a hard word to define. I think it's much easier to talk about its territory. And so that would be things like our inner life, some aspects of our relationships, our sense of purpose in life, our sense of mystery, awe and wonder. I think there's many things like that that describe the territory of spirituality. Hard to define, but we can talk about the things that make up its space.
Ever since human beings began, obviously there's been life and there's been death. We've all been aware of birth happens and death happens. So there's always been a sense of questioning what happens between those 2 points, and then also a sense of, well, what happens beyond that? Does anything happen beyond that? For some people, there is an understanding or a sense that there is more than that, that this can't be it, that we're just born and then we die and then we become worm food. So spirituality is sort of woven into all of that and all around all of that, that sense of the unknowable, the untouchable, but a distinct presence, or an understanding of there just being more than that which we can see and touch and hear and smell and taste.
Okay, that was a lot. You've heard from a few people. Now it's a question for you. What do you think this spirituality thing is? We've heard that it's that feeling that there's more to our existence. We've heard about connection and awe and wonder. Also about making meaning. We've heard that it's a thing that's difficult to define, but easier to think about in terms of its territory, which is mostly our experience. Every culture ever on the planet has tried to understand this using particular words, but words might not seem to be enough. What do you think about it?